Hey, welcome to the show, Leading and Growing Your Real Estate Business. This is Coach James Short, aka Shorty, and this is a show for those within the real estate industry wanting to lead and grow their real estate business. It's a series of interviews that we conduct for those within the industry. So we're finding out what those leaders are within the industry, what makes them tick, what's their story, what are their strategies, and how to become the leaders and the growers within the industry. But also, it's an interview series with those outside of the industry. I'm always a big believer of looking at a whole different part of the pie rather than just focusing on one part of the pie. Because what it does, it allows you to have a different perspective, allows you to get snippets or golden nuggets from those outside of the industry that can look into the industry and go, there's a different perspective. And so I encourage you to reach out to the guests. I encourage you to lean into these series to find out how can these pieces of information, experiences, stories help you lead and grow your real estate business. So welcome back to another edition of our amazing podcast show. And we have, ladies and gentlemen, very excited to get this lady on, Marnie Senior from McGrath. Welcome, Marnie. She has been in the top 100 since 2009 as a leading agent, top 10 female agent in Australia. She works in the eastern suburbs of Sydney, and it's an honor and a privilege to have her on the show today. Marnie, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me back on.
Now, Marnie, I've known you for many years, and the other year you sold our family home of 20 odd years. So it's good to get you back onto the show to actually showcase you and what you've been up to and what's coming up. So what's been happening over the last 18, 24 months? You've had some great success.
Yeah, look, we've been consistently busy. So, which is, I'm really grateful for that. And just with the market at the moment, so just changing the way we do business, so changing the way we look at our marketing, refreshing everything. So it's just, new team members coming in and out. But yeah, overall, it's been, quite stable, steady for us. And just looking at new ways of how we can better our business as well, how I can better my business.
Love it. Let's talk marketing for a minute. Like, what are you noticing is some things that you need to look at and change, and how have you adapted that change into the business at the moment?
Everything, to be honest. I feel that everyone is expecting everything so much quicker. So just from AI responses on your emails, the technology of, pre-list kits, listing appraisals, all of that. So we've looked at all of that. It's what we're currently working on now. So, yeah, just adapting to that technology. I hate technology. I'm a paper person. So, but adapting to that because it is the way of the future, moving with the times. So yeah, just adapting how we do business, the speed of delivery, and getting out, information to buyers and vendors as well.
So true. I think because everyone wants that instant reply, instant interaction, where you take it 5, 10 years ago. It's like no, there is a delay. It's business as
Absolutely.
usual. But now it's
Yeah.
so fast paced, and everyone wants those answers straight away. It's incredible.
They do. Everyone wants everything instantly and they want everything given to them. So, and it's for me, it's hard to get your head around that. You're like, no, I want to reply. I want to do this. I want to do that. But it's letting go of that and trusting that technology it's moving so quickly.
So true.
So yeah, embracing that and implementing, it doesn't take away the phone calls that we still need to do and the personal contact that you have with buyers. All that's really important, but it was changing my mindset around it, definitely, and embracing technology changes. So that's what we've been looking at for the last 12 months.
Fantastic. And team, you're growing the team. So talk to me
Yeah.
about who's on the team at the moment and where do you see the team going?
Yeah, I'm really looking at now growth of my team. So I'm haven't been the best at hiring the right people in the past. So basically, Danielle has been with me now though for 5 years. So she has gone from admin-based role and she wants to sell properties. So it was then adjusting to bringing her into my associate and teaching her to the selling side of it. then replacing the admin, which I feel is the anchor of the business. And I have tried, people pulling a property manager into that role. I've tried taking the receptionist. I've tried, different people in that role. However, I've just taken the plunge and hired someone with a lot of experience. Because what we've found in that role is Denny got held up in training that person. And then she was taken away from prospecting and doing the job role that she really wanted to do. So really happy that I've hired someone with experience that's implementing new systems and a new way of actually managing me, which is good too, making me more accountable. So I've gone for someone with a lot of experience. So which then now we can grow to another second associate agent within the team. So that's where I see myself, and the team is just growing the team and growing more associates like Danielle in different
That's
areas. Yeah.
that's awesome. Was that always on Danielle's like career pathway? Did she want to get into sales, or has
No.
it transitioned over time?
Transitioned over time. So Danielle's history, she's from Canberra, and she worked at a boutique office, a big office actually. They rebranded in Canberra, and she done all their back end and just seen herself as an admin leadership sort of role in that area. So no, it wasn't. And she kind of got bored, to be honest, in that role. And it was when I had Connor as my associate. And then Connor decided to leave and go and traveling and, left our team. And she was like, I'm actually kind of bored in admin. And she was looking at a different career, to be honest. And I said to her, before you take that change, because she was going to go into finance, I said, finance is the same as real estate. You got to pick up the phone. Why don't you give it a go? And 2 years later, she's listing now and listing her own business, and I don't have to micromanage her. She's incredible. And I also now, like, honestly, she's got the confidence in running her own auctions and everything. So it's really exciting for me as well, because then we can grow to that next person.
That's exciting. And
Yeah,
that's a really good indication of when people sometimes sort of get bored of their role, there are certain other career pathways, but having those conversations I think is super important. So rather than leaving, it's like, well, hey, how about let's venture into this,
absolutely.
try that. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
definitely. I've always had great relationship with her and talking to her about that, especially when I knew she was all over her job role. My fear was her getting bored in that role and losing her. So, she's always up for a challenge. So no, she loves it too now. She actually really loves the job role. So
That's
yeah, which
great.
is good. But I just find that admin role is the anchor of the business, and it's so important to get that right person in that job role that can actually, especially for me, I'm on the road all the time, and it's making me accountable, and have you followed that person up, and having my call list ready, my tasks ready. And that's exciting for me to finally have someone to actually tell me what to do every day.
That's so good.
It's
That's so
good.
good.
Yeah.
So besides the experience part of the role, what else do you look for in a person in relations to that admin piece? What are some of those
Um,
behaviors and characteristics? Hey guys, just a little side note here. How's it going? Are you on track this year? I know that sometimes this part of the year we can feel like we're in a bit of a grind, a bit of in the trenches. Are you on track from the original plans that you set out for the rest of this year? What I've realized is that with this time of year, we get so distracted and we've got trying to chase so many shiny balls and go down so many rabbit holes. And that's why I created a program called the 90. It's a framework that actually allows you to achieve more in 90 days than ever before. Some of the feedback that we've got from some of the people that have used the process, the 90, is that they've achieved more in 90 days than the whole previous year. So if you'd like to have the tools, have the techniques, have the framework on the 90, so you and your team can achieve more in 90 days than ever before. What it does, it impacts you of how to get clear, what you need to do, and who you need to be to show up in order to achieve the things you want to achieve over the next 90 days. Simply head over to jamesshort.com.au, click on join the waitlist, fill in your details, and one of the team members will be in touch and take you through the 90 framework. On with the show.
Yeah, look, I find the energy of that person as well, regardless of, they might be more admin based, they've still got to pick up the phone and ring clients. So really good energy, communication skills, obviously somebody that has more skills with technology and systems and back end than any of us do. But it's also the energy. You got to work with that person every day. So I feel that you've got to have something in common with them. You got to, be able to have conversations with them. You got to be able to trust them. So all of that comes into it as well, because you could spend so much time in the office and at work that you've got to actually connect with that person. Yeah, so that's really important to me as well.
That's a really good piece. And now then moving into the future with having getting a potential another associate, are you looking to getting a junior and train them up or someone who's already got some runs on the board to fit into the team?
Both, to be honest. So I'm looking at the minute Denny is more moving to sort of commission base or debit credit, which we're looking at for that, planning for that for next year. Then I will look for an associate with me, but saying if the right person comes on that is also approaches us, or we find somebody that wants to sell and they are self-sufficient, they are able to do their own business within the team, then I will take them as well. So, we are have conversations with people like that as well. I know where my leakages are in the business, and I know that we can grow so much more because there's only so many calls that I can make a day.
Yeah,
So, and Danielle's filling those gaps as well. And, all her listings and leads are coming from within my opens or within my database. So there is room for potentially that person to come in as well, that's already got experience, that can just
that's
take
great.
advantage of our database and call books or whatever from sales, etc. Yeah, so
Fantastic.
both, to be honest. I'm not ruling out anyone.
Right.
Yeah.
And when we talk about leadership and leading the team, what are some of the things that you are easy for you to do and maybe a little bit more challenging for you to do in relation to that leadership piece with the team?
I find they find me hard to manage, as in tying me down for meetings.
Yep.
So, but what's really important, I feel, is communication within the team. So every Monday we have we lock away an hour, hour and a half and run over every listing. We're all communicating with each other. We know where every property's up to, background price, price listed, guide price, where the owners are up to, all of that. So the communication within the team is really important. So we try and do meetings every day, obviously, to know what everyone's doing and set the week up on a Monday. We regroup on a Friday, make sure everything, what we've missed, what we haven't done, make sure we followed up. So the meetings are really important. Midweeks, I find it really hard to tie me down if I'm on the road all day. But Erin is amazing at that. So it's how we communicate with each other. We've got the group text messages happening. So the minute we all leave, I leave a property, I'm updating that, or I'm doing a voice memo to Erin so she knows exactly what to do around those properties when I'm walking out. So it's just different ways of communicating so we're all on the same page. Even though Danielle's not at all of my opens, what I find is what's really important is everyone's got hyper knowledge around every property. So if I don't answer my phone and they happen to get Danielle and they're asking aspect, internal square meters, where the hot water system is, where's that? All the team knows. So it's more the communication. Where I struggle is doing the one-on-ones with my team members and making sure they're okay. So we're just blocking that out in advance, that I check in with them every month, and take them for lunch and catch up with them one-on-one and say, how you going? How's everything going? How can I help? What can we do to better everything? So they do get the individual, meetings as well. So
Great.
just booking them in advance and not cancelling them, to
That's
be
awesome.
honest.
I think
Yeah.
that communication piece is so vital, and I think that's where most leaders fall down is thinking but not communicating what's going through their head, and then getting the team across everything. So you can't
Yes.
have you can't have less communications. More communication really helps everyone be on that same page and
Yeah.
understanding across it all.
Yeah. And like Erin's got experience, so she's needs to, she might say, Marnie, you're doing it this way, but this is a system, or this is how I see it working. And then we're all communicating, okay, well, if you can speed up me that way, how can we, I'm open to that or open to this. So it's also me being open to change with that as well. And I am, which is great. In the past, I'd probably say, no, do it my way. This is what I want. But now I've got somebody that I trust in that role, that I'm open to change, and and that's good too, because it's
Awesome.
about all making the process as simple and as easy for every team member, so we can speed up the way we do business.
Definitely fantastic. Now, talk to me about the market. What's happening in your market at the moment, and what's it
Yeah,
look
look,
like?
it's hard. It's not easy. Less buyers out there committing. There's a lot of nervousness still. So what we find is it's really important that you go to market at the right price and not overpriced. Otherwise, week two, you're having, meetings with the owners and reducing back end prices, reducing your guide. So it's the communicating with your vendors exactly where it's at. So that's something that I do when I'm signing them up as well. We sit down and have a meeting before we go live, and this is where I see it sit in the market. This is what I want to guide. This is your back end price search. This is why we're doing that. If they're open to that at that time, you find your campaign's really smooth. So yeah, it's because it's tough, and I feel that now in my market, buyers are paying around what the guide is. It's not, 10, 15% over. It's not the competition identifying that one buyer in that campaign, and you need to, not miss that opportunity. So it's also communicating that to the vendors as well, and keeping an eye on what's on the market at the time, what your competition's doing, and I make sure that's in my vendor reports every week. And sit down and chat to them around that. Like, this property's just come up down the road, they're guiding less than we are, we're helping sell their property, so this is what we need to do. We need to adjust everything. So
Great.
but
Fantastic.
it's not easy. The market is a little bit tough at the moment. It's quiet.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. What's coming up? What's some exciting projects coming up for you over the next 12 to 24 months?
Projects, as in the business, I'm excited to grow.
Yep.
I'm also excited that we're looking at everything within the business. My database and how we do everything, and we're changing everything, which is really good. All my templates, everything's being updated, upgraded. So for me, that's really exciting. And then, looking at hiring more staff, which is exciting. So I'm just getting more organized in the back end in how we do business. It's a good
Great.
time for me to do that. So I'm working on the business. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Marty, appreciate your time. Thank you so much for jumping on today. I know you're
No
super
problem.
busy, and thank you so much for your energy, expertise, and your knowledge.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you. See
Bye.
you.